Hello, everybody. This is Peter Palmiotti of Humanite Studio, and this is my studio overhaul part 2. And this is a picture of my mess. This is essentially what was before, except for the chairs in the foreground at the bottom of your screen. Um, that was my little table. Um, that I worked on, and it's hard to believe that I got anything done on the small space that was available. But I did. But I knew I needed a larger desk and setup, so I could push the computer off to the side. And typically the stuff in the middle wasn't there, like the Windex and paper towels and those books weren't there. But I have my pencils and brushes and quill on the right side, where you see that piece of paper. Just above that is where they are. And I usually have something to scratch out ink on to the right, and as well as a bottle of ink there. Um, but yeah, the space in the center was too small, and I was lucky enough to go to our copy center, and they've changed management. So they were selling a lot of furniture, and I believe I have a picture of the desk coming up. But that's what was, and I have a few things on a wall in front of me to remind me of stuff I should be doing. Uh, but and some inspiration on the right, and the original Human Art Studio logo in color. Now it's just a black and white image. And some other stuff, as well as a calendar, which you can see the bottom part there. Next up, what you see is sort of facing the opposite direction, so that the back of the studio and the right side, I'd have my wall unit back there, and usually there's a lot of crap in the back right hand corner up against the closet. And what's new is the shelf unit, the wood looking piece in the middle there. That's just a shorter shelf unit where I kept stuff, but that was in the living room. And these chairs are from, um, I guess they're from our dining room set. Um, and I know I had a couple of those in here previously. And now I have three of them in what you'll see in the final studio. Um, but yeah, we essentially tore up the house, got the new big desk into my studio, rearranged a bunch of things in here, in the living room, and in our hallways, um, in order to put a lot more stuff in our closets. We have a bedroom closet, we have a closet here in the studio, a closet in the hallway, uh, and it took about a week to to get most of it organized. Um, but the studio itself, I spent a day and a half getting the basic stuff worked out. Um, so it's just more chaos in progress. Okay, so this is a shot of the studio from the back, looking to the front, as I call it. um, to the right is the entrance. Is a little nook where the door opens, and you see, to the left. Did I say to the left? And to the right is where my desk is. To the right of that is where I have a file cabinet on top of which I put supplies and paper and whatnot. Uh, and and in the front and the left, you see the big shelf unit, and I had pages I have to ink and commissions and my personal projects in that little file drawer thing on the third shelf down. Um, some notes and lots of other things, some books on the shelf, and mostly other stuff. And again, this shorter shelf unit is there. This is, um, while I was working out what the heck am I going to do? So I got a couple more pictures. Here we go. So this was a much bigger step in the process. I put the shelf unit in the back and the small shelf unit next to it. I decided I'll put the our dining room table, kitchen table, in the back right hand side, and I shoved my working table into the middle of the room, mostly because I wanted to keep the computer intact, except for unplugging it until I got the other table in and started resetting everything up. Which I always hate. Laptop, it's easy. You plug it in, you unplug it, and all's good. But desktop, there's always something that goes wrong, or some plug that you didn't plug in right, or something or another. Um, so I tried to keep it as intact as I could. Um, but it's sort of in my planning stage, like what exactly is going to be the layout, what will work best, and after deep consideration, I've been told that I'm really good at organizing stuff, so uh, I figured out this sort of look, and hopefully, like when I show you with my webcam, you could kind of see the final thing. Because I don't think I'm going to take pictures like this for the for the final look, but I think I got one more picture. Here we go. And here it is. I wanted to take one picture where you could see the old desk and the new desk and the difference. You could barely see the edge on the right of the original desk, but it is bigger. It is wider, and it is much deeper. I don't think it's twice as deep, but it's a lot more space for me to work, even with my computer off to the right and sort of my tools off. Computer off to the left and the tools off to the right. I could definitely fit a lot more of my pages onto the desk and spin them around like I have a habit of doing. You could see more of my scratch doodles of stuff I gotta get to that hang in front of me. A sort of big overhanging lamp that is I use. Lots of people have lamps that clamp to their desk, but I found this in, I don't know, Home Depot or Walmart or something, and the top of it bends so I can direct the light, and I could swivel it back and forth. Um, so I could really pretty much point it, just like any official art lamp. And only recently I put a lighter, uh, a higher voltage bulb into it so I can see better. The new desk is getting, some getting used to. I'm not used to reaching as far back to do things. But with my webcam, which is you see, it's a little odd looking standy thing with the green piece on top. Um, I can bend it in such a way where you can see more of the page as I work on it. I always had the problem of I'm working off camera. Oh no. Which if I'm not keeping watch on the screen, it still happens a little bit, but less. It will happen less. But yeah, that's my new desk. Has a couple of drawers, big drawers on the left, a little flat drawer on the just to the right of that, and that's about it. I could put my garbage pail to the right of me, either under the desk or to the right of the desk, and so on. Hey gang, um, I should. Okay, this might be a little weird to look at, but essentially, you're seeing uh, from the front to the back, but you're seeing a part of the desk at the moment where my monitor and me filming this video is on screen. Um, then just going a little bit over there. Okay. Um, actually have one of our living room chairs here since I had the room and there's less room in the living room because we shuffle things around. Put Lisa's desk into the living room, so everything here is essentially mine. I mean, that's our kitchen, dining room, table, um, and I like flat surfaces. If when we move into a house, 2 months down the line, 6 months down the line, whatever it is, um, I'm gonna get some sort of flat table like that. But for the time being, it's my kitchen table, and I have like my old monitor on it, which is it's widescreen as opposed to this one that you're looking at, which is square, but that's fine. And I have my Manga Studio for Dummies book over there, and more this way. Okay, so what you see in the back is a giant corkboard. I got it at the much like I got the new desk, which is uh, here. This is the new desk, which is much bigger than the old desk you saw in the picture previously. The corkboard is, I think it's like 6 feet by whatever, 4 feet. It's huge. You could probably make out. I drew a little Human Art Studio sign, so I know it's my studio. And I have my Daredevil print up there. Well, it's just a copy I made just to put something up there. And I have the End of Days cover for the Kickstarter that's going on right now. In the future, I'll be posting a lot of my projects there, as well as just to sort of visualize everything better. Um, So in the very corner behind um, the table is nothing. And it used to be boxes and crap and lots of stuff. It's completely cleaned out. So there's nothing there. Over here is a shelf unit that used to be part of the living room and decided it would work better in here. I got a shelf of comics and trades and a couple of books, some miscellaneous crap on the bottom shelf. Above that, I got a bunch of pads I picked up to. I do commissions on that. I do my comic pages because I do them smaller for my own personal projects, a book of Trump and whatnot. On the top shelf is I got my our internet thingamajig, our home phone, one of the main hub and extension, some index cards. That was for my Bobby B Boy project, of which I will be getting to and posting more of the art I did on that. And a watch. I used to wear a watch all the time at work. Just I am here at work, but my clock is on my computer. So one day, if I ever need it, I'll take it out of its little container there. Let me shift over here. See if this works. All right. All right. You're getting. Let's see if that's a little better. All right. Okay. This is what I wanted to do for ages. Um, First of all, on top I have a small collection of action figures. Actually, Lisa got me. I don't, I don't really have a lot of toys, but the only way I can get them to stand up is to glue them, and I may or may not do that to the top of the shelf unit. Uh, Not really important, but it's. I'm working on comics. It's sort of a good influence to have a couple of things around. But essentially, on the right are comic pages. These are all um, works to be inked. What I'm working on now is on the very top shelf. It's two different things. It's End of Days, which I only have one page of, and it's in Wolves Clothing, which is a short story for an anthology, another Kickstarter project. Um, so those pretty much I'll probably get done next week, since you know I need to get them done. Then I have like retro pages, blood rights pages. Then we're going into is a manga style comic called Doll. I gotta get to. There's a lot of random pages I was giving over here um, to sort of ink and sell. Some other things. Uh, a couple of retro pages from the original artists. So there's three of those that I'll probably just toss up onto eBay. It's like I started them, then it just didn't work out with the artist, but I liked the style I was going with, so I gotta finish those. Then below, I have on top is Scott Story pinup I've been meaning to get to, and some other things on the bottom. Now on the right is just enough room for 8.5 by 11. I'll have commissions and pinups, anything that's sort of a smaller size, and it really, really, really helps. Much like the bulletin corkboard. It really helps for me to see the pages and to know exactly what I'm working on. And I'm going to be, fine tuning everything. Um, but then in the corner, you'll see this is sort of like a little wooden kind of couple of shelves kind of thing, and I have my a Marvel Comics portfolio squeezed into there because it fits below there. There's not really a bottom shelf to it. Um, then I have other portfolios, but they're bigger, so have them sort of leaning up against my original desk. I have a fold-out chair. If I have more company, then I have chairs. But in the very corner, which is very important, is I have a lot of packages I get. I keep everything I get. Um, Sometimes I use the cardboard from packages. I have a lot of just stacks of cardboard I got found somewhere. But you'll see FedEx packages, you'll see regular mail packages. I have a box or two, and I reuse all that. Um, I also have some envelopes. I have my sort of carrying case where I could stick in a lot of tools if I want to go out and sketch and whatnot. Then I have my desk, and I have like I have chairs at my kitchen table. I have a chair at my old desk, and I have my big office chair on my new desk. So I can pretty much decide I'm going to work over there today or I'm going to work over there. I could switch around during the day and work on different things and not have to change up, take out what I'm doing and put in what I want to work on next. But I have in the white little three drawer unit, I have Bright Eyes, I have Neon Eden pages, I have uh, one or two commissions in there. On top, I have some stacks of paper I have to figure out where they go to. I have some vitamins on that desk. I have a sort of New York box filled with folders. In the folders are um, projects on, Bright Eyes, Neon Eden. Um, I had to check the time. Um, Bright Eyes, Neon Eden, and other comic projects of my own that I'm going to be getting to. Just sketches and any text files or that were printed out, some artwork, um, that sort of thing. And I have stuff still in those drawers that I might transfer over to the new desk, or I could just leave it there. It doesn't matter. Um, then I should probably turn off this light. Okay, it won't be too much longer. All right, it's gonna yeah. Um, then over here is a very little table, and on top of that is my scanner. It's a small scanner for bigger stuff. I'll eventually have to get a bigger scanner, but it's also a printer. But I think it's really too much money for ink. So anything I need printed out, I go to the copy center. Uh, but occasionally we have an ink cartridge, and that functions as that. Okay. Then lastly, let's see if you can see this without me losing the picture. All right. I'm just going to go that far. Um, so right here is a file cabinet. It's a two drawer. It's one of those older, heavier ones. I keep a stack of sketch paper, just regular copy paper. Um, you know, that I can sketch on and ink on and doodle on and do, thumbnails and everything else. I have a big bottle of ink, which is rapidly going away. I have an electric pencil sharpener, some ink, some ink cartridges for my repair and whatnot. And over here, you see, this is my desk. I have a small bottle of ink, brushes, quill, repeater grass, pencils, even a marker. I don't use a marker for art, but just have one there just in case. And then, big open space. It's like this much of space, and then computers over here, and over here are my supplies on the table. You can imagine it. But yeah, I mean, this is my war room now. It's much more room in the center, because in the back used to be Lisa's desk, which was pretty big. In the center was the old kitchen table, which is round and huge. We also had um, what you call it, a dresser in here. Just used it for storage. That's now in the hallway. Since we cleaned up things and moved things around, we put that in the hallway. The cats, we only have one cat at the moment, but the cat loves to go on that. If we go to the bathroom or if we close ourselves in the studio or in the bedroom, cat hangs out up there, sleeps up there until we come out. But this is it. This is the new studio. I have a lot of fine tuning. The objective is to be a lot more organized in order to keep on top of my multiple projects for other people as well as for myself. Um, and just be a lot more organized, and be, and one day be on top of my commissions, and be a lot more productive. And, like I said, I have different spaces in here now that I can sort of set up different ongoing projects as long as I keep the cat out of here, which is difficult. Um, even one cat makes a mess if you let them in. But in regards to, I got the end of days Kickstarter right now. So if you didn't already go pledge. I'll put the link in the description. If you're not a patron of mine, please, $1 a week, 25 cents. I mean, $1 a month, 25 cents a week, roughly. For all that I do. I make art, I make comics. I've been on Jeff Lafferty's show lately, his Artcast. Um, that will probably continue. Um, and I haven't been making videos. Been busy setting this up and getting the whole house organized. But we're still, like, just briefly, the original house we were hoping to get, so that me, Lisa, and all our cats could get into, was sold. We found another house that had no wiring. Anyway, the short of it is, if it takes 2 months, if it takes 6 months, if it takes a year, we're going to get ourselves into a house. There's a GoFundMe for that. Um, we hate having our cats away somewhere else. It's a pain in the ass. We go visit them a couple times a week. We miss them. Our cat probably misses being with his friends, and they probably miss him, and so on. Um, but I wanted to do this because I need to get better gigs, as well as be a lot more productive. And I'm going to be posting a lot more art up onto eBay and to my store, get my website up, and so on. It's like a lot is going to be happening over, well, the remainder of this year for sure. And then, once we do get a house, I'm going to pick this up as is and pretty much teleport it over to the house. And I think this will pretty much be my setup unless the room is oddball. I'm really liking this, and I never imagined having a huge corkboard like that, but desperately needed that. I visualize everything, so this will all be much more helpful. Yeah, so become my patron. Buy my art. I have a store on Store Envy. I have the Daredevil print on Redbubble, which you can get it as a print. You can get it as a image on a coffee cup or anything. I believe, unless I screwed it up. Um, a lot more coming, and I just sold the original art for Daredevil, 31 bucks. That's we gotta do a lot better, folks, or I do. And I desperately need to get a great paying inking gig. If you know of any, I'm available for more. I'll be getting into the details of the cats, the house, and what I'm working on upcoming in other videos, as well as getting back to doing art videos. And lastly, right now I'm going to jump off here and do another Studio Synergy, which will be posted before this video, but I'll post this one later tonight. But just been busy, and you can watch me on Jeff Lafferty's Artcast. I'm not as interactive online, but you can always message me if you want me for anything. If you have a question, I'm always open. I hope you got a lovely studio as well. Welcome to my war room. This is Human Art Studios and Peter Paviani speaking on behalf of. All right, I'll see you next time. Take care.